For this week's Smith Business Close-Up, we're on location at the University of Maryland, where we are joined by Gary Cohen, Assistant Dean of Executive Education. Gary, good to see you again.
It's great to be here again, Jeff.
We want to talk about leadership and the eternal question of whether great leaders are born or are they made, are they trained somehow?
You can train people to be an effective leader, but I think the first thing we want to realize is that people are sometimes promoted to positions of leadership, but they are not strong leaders. So they may have had great mechanical skills in their career, and as a result were promoted through the ranks, and then they find themselves in a position where they have a team to manage, and it becomes challenging.
What are the pitfalls there? Because so what you're saying is you could be very good at the previous job, at whatever the organization does, but the management of people is a different thing.
It is. You have to be a great motivator, you have to set a great example, and I liken it to being a conductor in an orchestra. People on your team have various mechanical skills. They may have mechanical skills that the leader doesn't even have, but it's up to the leader to pull all of them working together to deliver a wonderful outcome. And there are some qualities that are necessary in an effective leader, and I think one of them is simply to be a great listener. A great leader needs to hear from their team. Employees want to know that they're being heard. They want to know that you value their opinion. And history proves that if you give people the opportunity to share their perspectives, when you do make a decision, even if it's not aligned to theirs, they will buy in because at least they felt they had valuable input.
And that's certainly a skill that could be taught.
Absolutely. I'm a believer that leadership can be taught. Sure, some people have some natural skills, and that would be true in many areas. But leadership can be taught. It's a skill that can be acquired.
What else is important? So if we were teaching a leadership course, it sounds like spend some time listening. Talk less, listen more might be one good lesson. What else would you recommend?
So here's a really simple one. Just be a nice person. Some people think that they elevate to a leadership role and that they become some sort of dictator. Not the case. Actually, if you treat people with respect and you show them that you truly care about them, personally as well, you will get so much more out of them. They will appreciate you and respect you and work harder for you. That's a really important element. So really it's going back to the old-fashioned golden rule. Just treat them like you want to be treated.
Is there a sense, though, maybe people, when they reach the pinnacle of their career, they're in a leadership job, they've had experience with good leaders and bad leaders, bad bosses, good bosses, that you have to become a little bit of a tyrant? Is there an expectation that General Patton needs to come out on you somehow?
No, not at all. In fact, I think it's really important to realize you can be a nice leader and still hold the bar very high on expectations and set very lofty goals and hold your people accountable. But you can do it in a nice way.
Did these qualities, listening, doing things in a nice way, does this stuff apply outside the workforce as well?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that people can be great leaders at home and great leaders in their community. So I don't think it just applies to work. And there are other skills that I think are really necessary, like building trust. And that's another really important element of being a great leader.
Is there one role model out there for, you should do it like CEO so-and-so, who was the best leader of all time? Because I think back to different bosses, and I'm sure you have a terrific boss at the moment, and I have a fabulous boss at the moment. But over the years, there have been good and bad, and even when you think of good bosses, they've been different. They're not all the same.
That's very true, and everybody's style is unique, but I think there are some core qualities that should be common amongst them. And I personally had several bosses over my career, and it's interesting. I would say I had 3 mentors in my career. They were all bosses, but they all brought something very different to me to help shape me as a leader. So there's no question each individual has their own nuances.
All right, Gary Cohen here at the Robert H. Smith School of Business. Thank you for being with us.
It's a pleasure to be here.